Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, and gamers, to another random Minecraft Thursday. And today we're in the Redstone world, where, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be looking at the D&D machine. But I figured that we should do a little bit of a tour. It's been a little bit since we've been here, and we have a bunch of new subscribers, so I think it'd be valid. So over here we have a 2x2 redstone lamp door. Take this item out of the furnace, close it right on up, and lights up. It looks really nice. A really good decor for like the end of a hallway. This item right back in the furnace. Nice hidden input. Opens right back up. I think it looks really nice. I really like the way it turned out. Over here, this is personally one of my favorites because you would think, oh, there's a chest, flat door, flat wall. Okay, we just have to put an item, the right item in, and if it's accepted, it'll work. Wrong. Put the item in, take it right back out, and shortly thereafter, the door opens up. You put that item in, you'll lose it, and the door will be locked for 17 minutes. So don't mess that up. Over here, we have Cub Fans rain detector. Give credit where credit is due. And over here, we have the 2x2 intersection door. So it goes from the top to bottom, and all four doors are able to walk through. It's really nice. This is a machine that takes 4 flying machines to make another flying machine. This is part of Mumbo's Redstone Contraption challenge. Fun little thing. It was nice to be able to build and then do this, and it assembles the machine for you. And once everything flies back and everything's safe, we'll go for a little stroll on our, well, self-forming bridge, I guess. And people can't follow you. Wait, no, that machine behind me makes it so they can follow you. Either way, I think it's really nice. I really like it, and it gets you to where you need to go. Over here is our shulker unpacker. Unpacks 5 shulker boxes at once from 5 different silos. And over here is a shulker. No, that's shulker packer. This is shulker unpacker. Put shulker boxes in, go AFK, and it'll sort it all for you automatically. It's amazing. Most complicated way to open a door. Check that video out. A lot of fun. It takes a long time to reset up. Concept video. This is the box I copied to be able to do this constantly. That's how I find out what resources we need. Lots of fun stuff. Flying machine. Interesting thing that I'll show you guys some other time. But we're looking at my favorite child, the D&D Dungeons and Dragons stat rolling machine. So if you don't know, the way to roll stats in Dungeons and Dragons is you roll 4 6-sided dice, which is what these 7-segment displays represent, and you add up the 3 highest. You drop the lowest number, which is kind of difficult to do in Redstone, and I wanted to see if it was actually possible. So while this is running, I want to ask you guys, next week in the poll up above, go check it out. Do you want me to do a building tutorial, a redstone tutorial, well, building something, redstone something, or a banner or something? Let me know. But how's this going? Is it all figured out? Is it already done? I am actually quite shocked. Nope, that's still running. So one of these is going to be dropped. So we have 1 plus 4, which is 5. Please be a good number, and it's a 9. So all those are extended, and all these are extended, and it is counting it all up. We've done a showcase this before, but we're going to show how it works today. So it should come up to 4 plus 1 plus 4, which is 9. So I've shown this before, but I'm going to show you how it works this time. So 10 and 9. Thank you for not making me look like a fool on camera. Everything works. It is golden, and let's go take a look. So obviously, I think the best spot to start is where the button is. So button goes into this line right here, and all it does is it starts up each of these circuits. And what it is, it's a randomizer. So it'll either put out a diamond shovel or a block of iron. And the comparator will read that. If it's a non-stackable item, it'll fill up all 3 of these, which will activate the machine, and will reactivate this once the item goes back into the hopper. Now, if it's only the iron block, though, it only goes to here and nothing else happens. That little button there is just for us to test the circuit while we were developing it. That could probably go. But it's a randomizer, and each one of these is going to randomly decide how many times the die will turn over or how many rolls it will have. And this is a 7-segment display for a 6-sided dice is what I mean. And it just shows us, the roller of the dice, what the number comes out to. But that doesn't tell the machine what it came out to. That's what these hoppers are for. So there's the number 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 in terms of this machine understanding it. Now, each of these 4 are copies of each other. I use the clone command. They're exact copies. And the way it works is it does signal strength. So that would be the 6, that would be the 5, and here's the 4. So that's 15, 14, 13, 12, 11 when it hits the comparators. And that's very important because there's a little trick with comparators. Down here, these have the same input, and this signal is not dying or running low, while this one is. And we take advantage of that to be able to transport the signal going along. So this signal right here is just continuing right along without a care in the world, and it's moving up. Now, let's get back over here to where we were working. So over here, we have a 4 and we have a 1. These are being compared to each other, and it goes up until they reach together right here. Now, what these do when they're being compared, and let me be able to demonstrate for you, is if the signal from behind the comparator is weaker, there will be no output. But if it's from the side is weaker, there will be an input. And to demonstrate that, ta-da. Or if it's the same, then it will go through. So that's what we're testing for right here. So right here is where we're testing that. And the one from the 1 is much stronger because it's from the top, not from anything down below. So there's a signal strength of 14 going through each of these. So it's quite strong, and so it overpowers. So we'll go through and decide which segment gets turned on, which will be this side over here, which goes over and it'll push forward this block, allowing this signal to go up toward this part of it, which we'll get to in a moment. Now, what it also does over here is it decides which side is extended, as you can see right here. So this 1 is going to go through to this part where it gets compared again, and it just does that again. That's why this wiring here is so funky, I think is the best word to describe it, is because it's trying to safety check, double check each part of this before anything can move. As you can see right here, this is not extended, so our 6 can't move forward and be compared. So it's the same thing over here as it is over here. It detects if the back was stronger or if the side was stronger, and it goes through accordingly. Now it extends 2 pistons actually for this. It extends 1 piston for this, but it needs a second one extended for it to actually be read by our observer checkers. Now, the way this works is if you saw down here, if you were observant, and you might have noticed we have a pulse extender over here. What this does is it makes it so this torch will be off, and thus this line will be off up to the yellow lines. Yes, I did use a little bit of wool. Until this is no longer randomizing. And what this is over here at the base of this yellow wool is a 4-way AND gate. So if any of these 4 randomizers are still checking, it won't put out an output. These torches will be off. But once they all turn on, it extends these blocks, allowing the redstone to go through. Now, the interesting thing about this is, if we refresh real quick, this is the number 4. So if we look at this and we decide, okay, right here is the signal strength of what would be a roll of 8, a roll of 7. This would be a 6, a max score, then a 4, then a 5, then a 4. So it needs to be 2 numbers lower than a perfect score. Then over here, where there's a 1, it needs to be 5 numbers lower than a perfect score, which these observers will update these droppers, and we'll go into a big item stream down here. But before we get to that, we need to talk about how this number was dropped, because you can see this is turned off. The way it was turned off is that, you remember this circuit over here that allowed it to go up? It never got that turned on because it's the strongest signal. So if we watch here, this signal going right here, this torch is not on, which means this block is not extended. And if this block is not extended, the signal from the beginning of this can't go up here at all. So that's what's going on here. So these can't get through at all. The lowest signal is not in the question at all. It's dropped. So what it does, it counts, okay, this needs to be 5 lower than 18, which is a perfect score if you rolled 3 6s. Okay, this needs to be 2 lower than 18. It puts all those together, basically adds up all the items. There's a dropper in here. And it puts it into a stream of water down here that's covered up to keep the items from possibly jumping out. It's launched into here. It goes all the way over. And this right here is one of my favorite little circuits. So what this does is when an item gets in, comparator detects it, obviously, and tells it to fire. Then once it gets to this point, it can only fire that one time. That's the only time it was told to fire. Once it gets to this point, a stronger signal is put into the side of it, telling it to turn off. Once it passes this hopper, though, it'll turn back on from the items inside of it, pulse again. What that does is it spreads out the items for this to detect, which tells this system how many times it needs to pulse to move it forward. And then this over here goes along, and all this does is locks it up for a period of time, so you're able to read the number. And this is an 18 numbered 7-segment display. That's all it is, really. And it just tells the front up here what to display, and after a certain amount of time, which is determined by this hopper clock, it will undo itself. it's a really, really interesting thing. The reason why I'm explaining this to you guys is I just want to encourage you guys. If you think something is not possible in Minecraft, in all likelihood, it's possible. A lot of crazy things can be done. This is something that the human mind normally does, a calculator can do. And we're able to build it in Minecraft with redstone and a bunch of iron blocks that some of you are screaming to yourselves that should have been wool. And it's absolutely amazing what can be done in this game. And I just want to encourage you guys. It's possible. And I hope you guys have been inspired by this. You might think of something that you've always wanted to try and you thought it's impossible. You can do it. So guys, that's going to be it for me. I hope you guys appreciate it. You're able to learn something. You're able to do something. As you can see underneath me, I'm kind of standing on top of. Let me know in the poll if you want it to be a redstone building or banner tutorial concept kind of deal next week. And I'll definitely get that out to you guys. I'm super pumped. I hope you guys are inspired, and I'll catch you guys back here with the next one. Goodbye.